All right, y'all. We're into another round of Game of Life 2, or
Life.
as it's most popularly known, Stump's podcast. There's a new map. There's like an El Dorado map.
I'm stoked. I'm excited to see what are the new jobs. What are the new houses? What are the new wedding venues?
Dorado.
Wedding venues. I need to know where I'm getting married.
Jasmine, there's little frogs.
Yes!
Set off on a journey into the new world and discover the lost city of El Dorado.
It's tough to be a god.
Is that like a little capybara or something? I don't know what that is.
Probably a capybara.
That's a tapir.
Okay.
Oh, is it a tapir?
Yeah,
I'm not
tapir.
looking at the screen. I'm waiting to get in.
It's a little golden tapir.
6404, y'all.
After this, I'm going to have to force Ash to watch El Dorado.
Yeah, you are, because it's amazing.
Yeah, me, Jazz, and Anna just got back from a vacation, and I mentioned that I'd never seen that movie, and they were upsetty by that.
The sidecar is so cute.
Oh, these are great.
The little gyrocopter thing.
Yeah,
Oh wow, this Mayan, Aztecan head.
What kind of characters we got?
We got like an Indiana Jones, we got an engineer, and then we got like a Mayan, Aztecan sort of like.
We got any new profile pics?
I set myself as the tinkerer character.
Oh, look at this cute.
The gyrocopter.
I'm ready.
All right, you're going to be that guy, then I'll be someone else.
Oh,
I was talking to Ash.
ready.
I'll be the one that looks actually like Ash.
Yeah. It's a little switcheroo.
Yeah. Ash stole my job, and I stole Ash's job.
Whoa.
I want my job back. I don't like your job, Ash.
Look at all the gold. It's like my gold house in
great.
Minecraft.
It's true.
Yeah, sure.
Look at
The serpent. Yeah.
And we're here to quote unquote discover this area.
Y'all,
Yikes.
Hippo is watching us play the game of life.
Yeah?
I'm going to post it.
I don't think
Discord.
Hippo's watching. I think Hippo's waiting.
To pounce on?
To strike you
Oh, look
when
at
you
it.
least expect it.
Oh, it's around our spinner? That's so cute.
That's actually
cool.
really cute.
No school for me.
Nope.
You can order some takeout.
These both suck because I'm going to probably lose money either way.
Yeah. It's Rickonomics.
Like, I would rather not give one of you 100K, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Why?
Well, because if I'm going to lose the money, I'd rather get something out of it.
Brian, is this your first time watching Life? Like, that's standard. 100K for takeout.
Oh, yeah.
Standard.
Standard.
Standard fees.
I don't know if you heard this, but there's a thing called inflation going on right now. Stuff's getting bonkers.
Yeah, stuff is far too expensive. Let's see here.
Couldn't even laugh about it. Too real.
Just too real.
I was like, oh.
Oh, look at the tent.
We just got back from
Those are capybaras.
Those are capybaras over there, yeah.
we just got back from Canada, and like we were excited for the fact that like the conversion rate's in our favor, so like we were expecting things to be cheaper, but just like stuff was just more expensive there to make up for it.
Yep. But it made me feel good because I was like, oh, $30. I was like, that's cheaper for me. It's not really $35. It's only like $25.
It made me feel good that the speed limit sign said 90, so I felt like I could just floor it.
Oh my god. Don't get me started on that conversion rate. I couldn't figure it out.
Jasmine had the hardest, like the moment we actually started driving in Canada, it would say like 40 kilometers per hour, and like I would do that, and Jasmine was like, okay, what is that in miles per hour? Okay, it's that. And then we kept on doing that, and Jasmine was like, okay, so miles per hour is just 30
Basically,
miles an hour more or less.
No.
No.
Look, I don't know how things work. I am terrible at math, okay?
And I cracked up so hard
bad
at
at
that because
math.
I was like, what does that even mean, Jazz? If the speed limit was 10 kilometers per hour, would I be driving backwards?
Here's what I'll say. I think it's because the temperature thing is like that. Like Celsius versus Fahrenheit is arbitrary in many ways in which the distinctions happen. So if that's your mindset for those conversions, I could totally understand why you might be like, what's this kilometer nonsense versus miles?
And I was so prepared because we had to bake some stuff while we were there. I was so prepared to get into like the whole Celsius Fahrenheit thing. They don't use Celsius in Canada, Bryce.
I think everyone cooks with Fahrenheit.
Everyone cooks with Fahrenheit.
Because it's more precise.
You're taking our worst systems. No.
I loved how when we were in Canada, I was telling Ash, I was like,
Radio
it's like we stepped into like an alternate dimension where there's just one or two minor differences. You know, everything's the same except for like kilometers. There's like a couple of different, systems. It was just the same. It was just, we just slid. We just slid to the right.
Sliding into a different universe.
Yeah,
I'm also going to throw a party, even though I can't afford it.
That's literally what we just did.
Yeah. This is my story of my life. Yeah, you want to throw a party?
Yeah.
You can't afford it? Except for I'm not getting a loan. I'm just going farther and farther into credit card debt.
Frogs!
Those frogs are cute.
I'll say my favorite experience with buying things in Canada is if you're used to buying, let's say, adult laughing places where if you're used to buying edibles here in the US.
You're making this way creepier.
I was trying to talk it code and realize it doesn't make any sense.
If you go to adult laughing funny times,
you can't buy anything that's marijuana related in the US with a credit card, but you can in Canada, and it doesn't make any sense to me because I was still buying it with a U.S. credit card.
It's because not all states have legalized weed. And so the banks can't take the federal banks cannot take money from
that's
legal
not
weed
a
shops.
legitimate reason in my opinion. It's just puritanical reasons.
It is, and that's the thing is in Canada they don't have that fear of this huge portion of the voting populace is going to cause us a lot of problems if we start accepting this. Whereas in America there are a lot of people who A, don't know anything about marijuana, B, don't live anywhere near the places where people are making it legal, and C, they have some kind of holier-than-thou view of their way of living, and they will punish anyone else who doesn't do that. So the banks in America just decide, you know what, we're not going to do that. The credit card companies in America, they're like, you know what, we're just not going to do that. Everywhere else, they're like, ha-ha, capitalism, baby!
You can also order that kind of stuff and get it delivered. I believe there's actually a couple of states in the U.S. that you can do that, but you still have to pay with cash.
Yeah. Technically, there's places in Portland where you can have things delivered.
Oh my God, look at this marriage.
Look at it.
Look
That's
at
cute.
the tapirs.
Oh.
And the heart on the... My goodness, that's adorable.
Ash, is this you?
Yeah, sorry. I was getting distracted reading chat.
Oh, those rings.
But those are some good-looking rings. I like that I was
tapirs?
Yeah, and there's a toucan, and there's the alpaca over there.
But they had these statues right in the front.
Oh, were they? I didn't see those. I didn't
see tapir statues.
When you zoom out, I think you'll see it.
We'll see it.
So Ash has to roll
Great,
again.
thank you. Going farther and farther into debt.
Yeah. I got Rickonomicked right away.
Same.
What sucked is it did that thing where, like, I rolled, I lost the money, I had to take the loan before I went and got the money.
House already, damn.
This guy over here blasting through life.
I know. Ooh, look at the bunker house.
I like that. Look at the waterfall you have next door.
I love it. Yeah, I love this.
The house is actually garbage, but because it's got a great location, that's why it's so expensive.
Are those the statues, Jess, in the background there?
Yes.
Yeah, those are cool looking.
Oh, yeah.
Neato.
And there's one with a snake for a hairpin. Love it.
Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Man,
it sounds like y'all had a lot of fun.
Through life.
Just flying.
I mean, it was really because it's just the Pacific Northwest. It's literally part of the same chain of the San Juan Islands that I've already been to like a bajillion times.
Okay, Ash. Well, I haven't, so.
Honestly, you should. Like, the camping on the San Juans is gorgeous. But anyway, yeah, it's the Pacific Northwest, but it's the Canada version.
It's home
Look at
for
our rings.
us.
Do you see our rings?
They're so
I
cute.
do see the rings.
They're massive.
Oh, there's 2 more tapirs over there just chilling. Little mini
And there's
elephants
a little
doing their thing.
alligator and a little frog.
Oh.
I like how my husband is in my sidecar. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Ooh, fries plus
Which
gravy
husband?
plus cheese curd. We didn't actually get any poutine when we were
Oh,
up
I
there
love
this time.
poutine though.
Oh, I do have a question to our Canadian audience, though. One of the things that I felt was very
Sorry, Anna.
unusual that I wasn't expecting
It's fine.
is there seems to be like a common staple food that I wasn't expecting, which is sausage rolls. I'm used to having those for like British tea service, you know, the little sausage roll. But it's sold in like every kind of grocery store. Like you go to a grocery store and there's just like a section of them in the deli of different varieties of sausage roll.
Papa dog.
Well, you gotta remind yourself,
Frogs!
Canada still belongs to the Queen.
I know, but like I feel like
the Queen needs her.
The king now, I guess.
I've
sausage rolls.
visited London, and like while again in London, I associated it with tea service. I felt like I went to several grocery stores. Anyway, maybe I don't pretend to be an expert, but I guess what my question is it literally just because it's a British
Good job,
Association thing that you guys just have sausage rolls in the thing? I assume it is, but like, and how how common is that? Is that across all of British Columbia or just we were in Victoria? Anyway.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's like a cultural thing that, you know, just was handed down from like...
I was trying to Google a little bit about it because I didn't see necessarily other things that I would necessarily associate with British staple foods. But the sausage rolls in particular, I saw in several places. That was much more prominent than I was used to.
The way I see it is I watch lots of like British comedy stuff and like panel shows and things like that. Americans are never on those things, right?
Yeah.
Which makes sense. We have like our own separate kind of world of comedy and things like that, everything. Tons of Canadians are, though. And I think it's because there's a shared culture there in terms of like just continuous shared culture, whereas America, we kind of isolated ourselves and specifically we're like, oh, that's British? No thanks. Why do we drink coffee? Because the Brits drink tea, right? It's all that kind of stuff. So... over in Canada, I think that they just weren't as averse to getting rid of everything related to England.
My whole thing is like I feel like, you know, sausage rolls I associate with Britain, but I don't associate it with like being so popular that you can find it in every grocery store. If that is the case in Canada, then Canada, do yourselves a favor. Stop having poutine be your national dish. Start having it be sausage rolls, because sausage rolls are just so much better in my opinion. They're so good. And don't get me wrong, poutine might be good. I just literally have never had a good version
Excuse me, poutine is amazing.
of it. It's pretty crap.
Here's the problem is that we were out in like the middle of nowhere basically. So like all the good poutine places are going to be like in Victoria or in BC or in Vancouver and we weren't there. So
Yeah, we
I
were
love poutine.
I had poutine in Vancouver. I've had poutine in Vancouver, and it was just all right. Like, I'm with you, Ash, that, like, it's cool, it's neat, but, like, once you've had it, it's like, oh, okay, this is just another way of eating
Here's the
French
thing,
fries.
though. Here's the thing. I had the same argument to Ash, like, saying it's just because Canada is still part of the Commonwealth. And, you know, like, America didn't want to do anything with Britain. And I feel like he still wouldn't even take my side or even, like, listen to my side of that argument.
My thing is, like, I don't think that argument answers the question. It's not like, oh, there's also scones all over Britain. You don't see those in the grocery store or all over Canada. What is it about sausage rolls is what I'm asking. Because there is
You're
something.
just angry that you don't have sausage rolls here.
Yeah, like I said, people-
They're so good.
That's what it is. That's
Why
what
don't
it
you
is.
just make some sausage rolls?
I have. Me and my mom have. I'm saying. What I'm getting at is what is it about sausage roll in particular? Because I didn't see the vast
They're
majority
delicious.
of other British staples that I'm used to, but sausage rolls did seem to catch fire. At least,
I mean, to actually have this conversation, we're gonna have to go back a very long
hit me
way.
with it, Canadian viewers. I want it.
Or we should probably just bring a Canadian and a Brit on board and be like, hey, can y'all settle the sausage roll debate for
Not
us?
that's not the American way to do things.
You're
You
right.
haven't
The American way
even-
is to make assumptions and assertions and then make it real.
But like, you also haven't even talked about all the French stuff that is influenced in Canada.
True.
Can I stop
True.
rolling giant numbers, please?
No. I forgot we were playing a game, to be honest.
Listen, I'll say that from just going again, like my perspective is of the regular grocery stores that I was going to in Victoria and outside of like an hour outside of Victoria. while I saw sausage rolls, I didn't see a ton of French-inspired foods. What I did see is just a lot of French on food.
Well, you need to go further east as well.
Yeah,
to
you
get
gotta
more
go
French.
towards Quebec.
You got to go towards French Canada. We were obviously in British Columbia.
So here's my question.
Yes.
How does a sausage roll differ from like a pig in a blanket?
A puff pastry, I think, is the biggest difference.
Well, I mean, have
Pig
you
in a
ever
blanket
made...
is literally just pancake.
It's a pancake.
Yeah.
I've had it with puff pastry. That makes it a sausage roll?
That's a sausage roll prize.
Because I'll say, I've had those, and they've never been called sausage
I'll also say
rolls.
that the pigs in the blankets that I've had have always been pancake, and it's always been a sausage link, like it still has its casing on. Whereas sausage roll is loose, like loose sausage,
Okay,
ground,
see,
ground sausage
that
meat.
I've never had that.
Yeah, so
because-
imagine ground sausage meat inside of a puff pastry roll.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Y'all, I'm getting screwed this game, by the way.
Welcome to my life as well.
Alp says pig in a blanket is sausage wrapped in bacon. What? No.
No.
Pig in a blanket is a sausage or
Wrapped in a pancake.
wrapped in some kind of pancakes, which y'all are saying. I don't think I've ever had it in a pancake before. I've only ever had it in pastry.
Really?
Oh my god, I love pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, in
They're
like
delicious.
what do you call that stuff? Pillsbury biscuits. Yeah, random. In Texas, pigs in a blanket are Smokies inside biscuits. That's what it is.
That may be like a North-South America differentiator.
Yeah.
Because I've never had it
Don't
that
say
way.
South America, Southern.
Southern
Yeah.
America.
because South America is very different.
Damn, Ash, good job.
I feel like they're going to be like, what the hell is a pig in a blanket?
It's kind of like an empanada, really, if we're going to...
No, that's closer to a sausage roll.
That's true. That is true.
What we're learning is that every culture has their version of pig in pastry.
Yes,
All right?
absolutely accurate.
It's because it's delicious, all right?
It's a good combo.
Let me roll a house. Let me get a house. That's
Do it. Get a house.
fine.
Random. That's what makes Texas the greatest country in America. Please ignore our other problems. It's right. It is a country, not a state.
I mean, Texas can hold claim to having the best meat in America. That's accurate.
Ooh, adventure.
They do the best barbecue. The cows they grow are actually like California and whatnot. They have their own cows, but they send them elsewhere.
Be right back.
It's bonkers. That
Jesus
industry is
Christ.
the cattle industry is ridiculous.
I'll say this is while we're on just like differences in Canada. I got Cheetos cheese puffs up in Canada. They were different, They were better.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
You know what was great though? The dangerously Canadian ketchup Cheetos. Those were so good.
Wait,
Dangerously Canadian? Is that
That's
what they're
what
called?
it says. Instead of dangerously cheesy, they were dangerously Canadian because
does
they
say-
were ketchup chips.
Oh, they're not going to apologize about this one, eh? My goodness.
It was
Dangerous
good.
Canadian.
it did say dangerously Canadian on them.
Love it. It's just a hockey player. Like, my goodness. My goodness.
The
But yeah, there
ketchup Cheetos were real good. I liked them.
I don't think I had any of those.
I know people like ketchup chips.
Yeah,
I think I've had
it's-
them before and I was like, but I get that it's a thing.
I've had ketchup chips before too. I think if we're talking about chips, the all-dressed chips are the best ones from Canada. But the ketchup, there was something about the ketchup like puff, like Cheeto.
Oh, the
thing.
dangerously Canadian?
Yeah, there was something that was, I don't know. It held the ketchup flavor better than the chips did.
I get that. Surface area and stuff.
When we were walking around Victoria on our last day there, we walked past a Burger King. They have ketchup flavored nuggies, y'all. Like what's
Cool. But also, what's
Like-
the dipping for then?
Exactly.
Double
What-
ketchup.
Isn't the nug supposed to be the delivery vehicle for the ketchup?
Yeah.
Now you've already got that baked in. I guess you're saving a step that way.
Yeah. So what you're saying there, Anna, about them tasting better reminds me of a thing that I learned about food, and it completely changed how I prepare food and whatnot, which is the more air that you can put into the food when you're eating it, the better you're going to taste it. So, like, for example, if you make a sandwich, don't make your meat flat, but like fold the meat
Yeah.
because it creates more space for air, and air is what lifts the aromas up into your
Nose.
olfactory sensors, and
Yeah.
then that's how you're able to have like a more flavor. So with those puffs, I assume that that's why they're way better, because you got way more air in between all that stuff. So A, put more air into your food, people, and B, that's why people smack their mouths and why they chew with their mouths open. It's like a reflex because you're like, oh, I want it to taste better. So
no, it's because they're monsters, Price. Okay,
no. Manners are fighting against your urge to do what is best, like what will be best for you.
Absolutely not. I'm not on board what Price is saying here.
I'm not telling people to start doing it. I'm saying they're justified, and society is stifling them. But also, I don't want to see what you're eating, so keep your gosh darn mouth shut.
I would say ketchup chips are tangy. They're not sweet. They're tangy, like a barbecue sauce. But I don't like barbecue sauce, so.
Yeah. I love barbecue
Oh my
sauce.
God, I'm just zooming through life. I'm not going to land on anything. This is horrible.
You can continue life and get more chances to land on things.
No. I can only...
Ooh,
Okay,
Temple Warden.
fine. Temple Warden.
Wow.
Oh, one other quick side story from our travel adventures. Our drive back, it was quite the journey. It's like 10 hours of traveling in total. As we were going through like Olympia, me and Jasmine were starving, so we decided to pull off and went to, I can't remember the name of it, but we went to a Tex-Mex place that
It's the whitest Tex-Mex in the world.
was probably the most American, like, white version of Mexican food I've ever had.
That's just
That's what,
Tex-Mex.
I was going to say, that's what the Tex in Tex-Mex
Yeah.
stands for.
I've had Tex-Mex in Texas, and it has seasoning. I guess what I'm saying is that they just didn't season anything.
So you're saying it's Midwest Tex-Mex?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am mid-Mex.
Yeah. That sounds weird.
Mid-Mex?
That sounds weird.
It was very white to the point where
was
there was
just
like a father and son wrestling in the middle of the place.
Well, there was that
What?
aspect of the clientele, but also just like literally the you know, the Spanish rice had like nothing. It was just rice.
Frogs.
Anyway, if you're gonna have a Tex-Mex place, use seasoning.
Look at your plane!
And have some spiciness to it, please.
Hey, plane.
My main suggestion.
Yeah, I was
Just in
surprised.
general, season your food.
Yeah.
Just in general. Like, you will
That's-
enjoy your life better, and you can make food taste better without having to add so much salt
But-
that your sodium goes out of control.
But Price, you just said that if we put more air, it'll taste better. So which is it?
You put
Spices
spices.
or air?
No. So here's what it is: spice to food to air ratio.
Okay,
Less
okay.
food, more spice, more air.
Okay.
Better experience.
I feel like this is like the Pythagorean theorem of
Yeah.
food.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to take Price's advice because you drink Soylent for most of your meals.
Okay. Okay. Just because I don't care about food doesn't mean I don't know my shit when it comes to human perception. All right? I know how this stuff works.
How much
I will
air is
talk
in
about your
Soylent?
chemicals.
How much air is in Soylent? How much
I-
spice is in Soylent?
You, the air is not in it. You add the air to it. You squish it around in your mouth, if you will.
Do you smack your lips when you drink it?
Sometimes, if I really want to get that hit of flavor, that smack of ham.
Do you let your
But I mean,
Soylent
go ahead.
breathe?
Don't listen to me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Smash all your food all close together. Take the spices out and keep your mouth shut while you're eating it. Let's see how it tastes.
Well, if you have enough spice, you can limit the air factor, right? Because as long as you have the end goal, which is tasty, it's just a combination of air plus spice.
Have you ever eaten spicy food with a stuffed nose?
Probably. I don't know.
It probably didn't taste great.
I love spice.
Yeah. But here's what I'm saying. The reason food doesn't taste good when you have a stuffed nose is because no air is getting
Yeah.
to your olfactory sensors.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate the air, you're basically eating with a plugged nose.
Yeah, basic.
Which is what you do when you want to eat something that you don't want to eat. You plug your nose.
True.
Look, y'all. Olfactory senses were like my favorite thing to study in perception.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Smells
I can't help it.
smells are like related to like memories and
It's the only sense that
Pair
bypasses
those
the
back or
thalamus.
Go on a cruise.
listen, the real me would just go on a cruise, forget paying all my
This is a
loans.
real life scenario for us
Yeah.
here.
Yep. It's actually very true, as that's what I did in January.
Pretty much.
Listen, when I die, my debt's just gonna go away. So what's the point?
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't have to worry about debt when I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, ghost debt.
Oh man, what if there is ghost debt? You died with 100,000 worth of debt.
Capitalism is infected being dead now? Fuck. Money isn't real, it's true. It's a human concept.
Money isn't real.
That's why you gotta live your life and go on vacations and go see things that you want to see and just rack up credit card debt. Don't listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor. But when I die, I don't have no kids, so they're not gonna get out of my debt.
Yeah, so exactly like Anna said, if you don't have kids, great strategy.
Every time my parents go to the hospital, I'm like, I'm gonna be so far in debt because y'all, I don't even know how much money you have, but it is very expensive to go to the hospital. It's like, stop getting sick.
As grim as this is, ever since that John Oliver episode about timeshares, my mom has a timeshare that she's tried so many times to get rid of and can't. And the John Oliver episode explains the fact that it gets passed down to the kids or whoever the closest relative is. And you have to, within something really short, like 14 days of the person passing, that's your only window to not accept it.
All right, Ash.
What happens if you don't not accept it?
Then it automatically gets transferred to you. And then again, you're stuck in that position where it's almost impossible to get rid of. The only way to get rid of it is to find some other sucker to buy it off of you. For even adults.
Or burn it down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Burn it down.
I mean, the place is kind of old. I wouldn't... Oh, sorry. I would foresee it eventually being torn down and built anew.
Are timeshares, do you pay that monthly? Is that what it is?
No, there's I assume you can probably have a mortgage on them the same way you have a house.
Yeah.
In my mom's scenario, she already paid it all up front, but then there's essentially yearly HOA fees, basically.
Exactly.
And it's forever. Like, there's zero way to not pay those fees. Yeah.
Tachyon, but where did the lighter fluid come from? Look, I am not advocating for arson. But I am saying that if you have a problem like that and it happens to burn down, oh no.
Just put my mom in the situation and she'll burn it down for you.
Oh my gosh, Anna, that's dark, but I get it.
How does that work without any agreement of who the timeshare is passing to? Ask American lawmakers. Yeah, it makes no sense.
If you want to know the parts of the government that are built to actively screw the middle class, there's a perfect example right there. Wealthy people don't have timeshares.
No, because they.
But middle class people who want to try and make money have timeshares.
Ooh, map maker. Just going
it's like,
up and
look, you're probably going to get more money from Tupperware parties than in a timeshare.
Oh, 100%. Maybe.
It's the same scheme.
It depends. You are probably paying in a lot to the timeshare, but presumably to all of those MLM type Tupperware party type things, you're probably paying a lot into those too.
Yeah. Look, I'm rich in Tupperware, right?
Ooh. But then you can at least use the Tupperware.
Well, Tupperware rich and cash poor.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
I'm Tupperware poor right
Honestly,
now.
you get into the Tupperware thing very early in your life, y'all. You just never have to buy Tupperware again. Because I've bought quite a lot of Tupperware.
Ooh, I could replay my loans, or I could play bingo.
Okay, we know what Emma's doing. And this is a bingo where you can't even win anything. You couldn't even win money on that one.
No,
bingo going once, bingo going twice, bingo going 3 times.
I mean, you could use the timeshare, though. Absolutely. And again,
you could still
if
go
you
there.
are someone that actually uses your timeshare, sure. But at the same time, think about, so to give you
all
an
the
example.
people that don't.
My mom, I'm not to put my mom too much on blast here, but I believe it was in 2001 or 2002, my mom bought this timeshare in Kauai, that she could use for, I think it was 1 week every other year.
1 week every other year?
And it cost something like 10 or 13,000 back then. And then the yearly fees on it now are like $600. So you make the decision in your head mentally if that 1 week of vacation every other year
is worth
equates to that much money.
$1,200 plus
what's
travel
the
and everything
property?
else.
It's not. Yeah, it's like
Is it like an apartment or
It's
is
an
it like a
apartment.
mansion?
It's basically like an apartment because you're in a huge complex with other people in very similar units. And it's like a block away from the beach too. It's not exactly beachfront either.
K85 says, was your mom required to put your info down in your agreement? No, the government will do that for her.
Yeah, it has zero. Like even if let's wild scenario. If I die before my mom, it would then presumably go to her brother, my uncle. Like, it just goes to whichever relative is closest. There is nothing you can do about
What
that.
if you all die in like a plane crash?
Oh,
and
There's
no
going to be
relatives left.
there is going to be some relative somewhere that it will pass to.
and here's the other wild thing, y'all. When,
Come
again,
on.
this is a very grim conversation, but in this scenario where my mom passes, and then in that 2 weeks,
hoping for
I
that
say
one.
I don't want it, all of my other relatives have to do that too. It's not just me that has to pass on it. Everyone that I'm related to has to pass on
No
it.
farm.
This is what we call a predatory practice.
Yeah.
These are things that happen all of the time in this country. And I won't go too deep into how these things happen, but there are a lot of people that carry water for this type of stuff that they don't realize that they're doing it just because something else in their group aligns with that.
Gah,
Oh, goodness.
taxes.
Anyway, I think the big thing, genuinely, if you're out there listening to this and you are related to someone that has a timeshare, watch the John Oliver episode because it has a ton of great information. It goes into the fact that all of those businesses that say they'll help you get out of your timeshare, all of them are scams.
Yep.
Like,
Oh, thank you.
It's just really useful info if you are in this scenario.
Ultimately,
Don't get a timeshare.
just never engage in any kind of get-rich-quick scheme. And anything that seems like a steal, you're the one getting stolen from in some way or another.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't get that penny swisher.
No.
That's not a scam. That's not a scam.
Earning potential.
Yeah, unlimited. Okay.
Unlimited passive earnings, okay? Jazzy, you obviously weren't listening to that conversation.
Also, you're not going to get rich quick with a penny smusher.
Oh, I know.
That's a slow process. That's a trickle.
That's a get rich slow. That's investing in your children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we get 100 penny smushers.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Then you get rich quick. Sort
And
of.
then you sell
was
two of
close.
those penny swishers to your friends.
they can rent your penny smusher for 2 weeks out of the year,
Yeah.
but they have to pay you $10 in pennies.
Exactly.
Also, it's like, hey, I've got this brand new investment idea that you'll really like. You want to buy these penny smushers from me, and then you sell them to your friends, and there'll be penny smushers everywhere.
Someone in chat just said WTF is a penny smusher? How?
It's exactly what it sounds like. You put 50 cents into a thing and a penny, and then a machine literally smushes a design into it.
You got to
Yeah.
go back and listen to the penny smushing episode.
Exactly. You got some catching up to do.
That's classic Stump.
So
Go
basically,
to any
it's
American national monument and you will find one.
it's kind of like a little souvenir. Your penny gets smushed into a design that's like
Yeah. We have
the
one of
Grand
the Grand
Canyon,
Yeah.
or orcas, or seals.
Yeah, I
Because
have
you
one
don't
that's
like your
kind of
money.
like a T-Rex.
Legitimately, no one in the U.S. actually likes pennies.
Pennies
Everyone
are
in the
worthless.
U.S. The pennies are actually there's. I believe there was a study done that there's actually nothing in the U.S. that interacts with pennies besides those penny smushing machines. Like, there's nothing that actually accepts pennies.
Other than your bank, and it's just because they
Right.
have to.
I like how pennies are worthless, yet we always sell things for 99 cents.
Yes.
Yep.
It's just so you can put that other number in front so you can trick someone into thinking it's $7, not
Yeah.
$8.
And then the poor person has to give you a penny and change. And then what are you going to do? Smush it? Like,
Yep.
Yeah, there should
that, you know what? Instead of a
Do
take
you
a penny,
want your
leave a penny.
back, or would you like to smush it for 50 cents
That's
more?
the thing. Instead of take a penny, leave a penny, it should be take a penny, smush a penny.
Yeah.
And then you just,
Yeah.
that's what you do with all those extra
Yeah, but you
pennies.
have to carry 50 cents more to do it.
Yep.
No.
It's true.
That's the service fee. When you come up to the counter at any place when they're going to give you a penny, instead of you getting the penny, they're like, all right, and which smusher would you like the penny to go through?
Yeah,
All right?
yeah.
oh, Price, you're going to be senior temple warden?
Yeah, I don't think there's a better job than senior temple warden.
Excuse me, I was the temple warden and you just stole my job from me.
Why is
This is
pennies
my
part of the
hidden
economy?
temple.
Because at one point pennies were actually worth something.
100 years
Yeah.
ago, they mattered.
Yeah.
There's actually, again, and this is 20 years old at this point, but I'm someone that used to be super into the West Wing. There was a whole episode of the West Wing about this, and the genuine answer is because Lincoln is on it, and there would be politics around the idea of getting rid of Lincoln from something.
Yeah.
Because some people really didn't like how that one thing turned out.
But also, bloody pennies aren't actually 100% copper. I think they're mostly zinc.
Yeah.
And
And
nickel,
then they're
right?
copper plated.
They're copper plated, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not even like true copper. It's just been electrolyzed.
And we go back to the whole conversation. Money isn't real.
It's true.
Just have a $5 bill. We do have a $5 bill.
Oh
Who's
my
on
gosh,
it?
I'm.
Oh my
yeah,
god,
I know,
who's
right?
on the $5 bill right now?
No, that's what they're saying, Lincoln.
Oh, it's Lincoln. Okay, yeah.
Right. It's just that,
That's
yeah.
the joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah, it's like Ash said, it's silly politics.
It's silly
Yeah.
politics.
And just, look at the people who bring up these issues, and you're going to find a very clear line in terms of certain things that they believe as to why they don't like these things.
I was going to say, I would love this political argument. I would give anything for this political argument compared to some of the political arguments we have these days. Like this one compared to like the gas stove argument that America's having. This is a
it's
dream.
not an argument. That's like
I would love to argue about pennies over like the gas stoves. Oh my god.
Can I just say 90% of the things that are quote unquote arguments right now aren't arguments?
No.
It's one side of a thing getting furious about a made up problem that they
Yes.
have created. No one cared about gas stoves, and ask anyone who's not like, I need my gas stove, what they think about it, and they'll probably be like, I don't care. All right? But suddenly it's like, you're trying to take it from me. No, I'm not. I'm trying to do my job. Why are you yelling at me? It's ridiculous. Go ahead, have your gas stove. And if it hurts you, then you deserve it.
If
My
you
goodness.
die,
Anyway.
that's
But what I'm getting at, chat, is that this is why penny smushers are a good investment.
yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because you're never going to get rid of pennies in this country.
No.
Until you smush them
Until
all.
you smush them all. Yeah.
Yep.
If we have one goal, that's stumped.
Which is why we then
Yep.
take all of our penny smushing money and we lobby the government to make more pennies.
Yep. We're from the smushing lobby.
God. What's our super PAC?
Oh man.
I argue that even though making pennies is actually costs more than the penny itself, we need to have these pennies to smush.
Yeah, because we have a huge penny smushing kingdom now.
Yeah.
How are you going to afford to make more pennies if you don't smush pennies to make the money?
Exactly.
We
Listen.
lobby to keep making pennies, and we lobby to keep prices at 99 cents on a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
I'm sure there's actually a true lobbyist out there that does this.
It's probably
There
like
is.
the zinc lobby. I bet you anything
Probably.
the zinc lobby.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh
look
my
into it, y'all.
gosh.
Let us know in the comments. Is that the thing?
Kieran says it's a PAC, the penny acquisition community.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
Love
nice.
it. So is
Yo, I'm
this
making this last
episode
forever.
gonna be named the Return of the Penny Smusher?
No,
Well, no, we're hunting in
it's
El
sausage
Dorado.
rolls.
We're
It's
hunting in El
sausage rolls and
Dorado.
pennies.
Sure.
the
We
pennies.
haven't given this episode enough attention to the El Dorado. That was the whole point of this episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Oh no, we're gonna have to play this one again.
We'll do it
'cause we got
again. It's a
distracted.
gorgeous map. It's a gorgeous
Also,
map.
can we go back to Can we go back to British culture for a second? Because I got the nicest comment on YouTube, which doesn't normally happen. Thank you, all you beautiful commenters that say nice things about me on the YouTube. Someone said that I had a British sense of humor, and I felt so elated. I was like, "Thank you for understanding me." I was like, "I am funny."
That's a weird
like
way
the
of saying you're
British.
old.
Okay, I am old.
I'm kidding. I love British comedy. It's like all I consume. Like legitimately, I was talking to Chrissy about this the other day because we've been watching a lot of Taskmaster. At this point, I think I've watched the entire series. And Chrissy was like, well, why haven't we made this over here, right? Because in America, we always make, like, whatever y'all do over there, we're like, we're going to make our version.
Yep.
And they did. They tried
Yeah.
making an American Taskmaster, and it was garbage.
Oh, like,
and
like most of the
watching
American
it,
spin-offs.
Watching it, the reason behind it was very clear. American comedians are crass. They like to swear and say offensive things, and that's how they're going to get a rise out of you. Regardless of if you like or hate what they're talking about, that's how like the American comedian way. Whereas in British comedy, it's a little more self-referential, it's a little more pun-focused, it's a little more like... It's not that kind of adversarial. It's not shock humor. Thank you, Mr. Wigbooba. So since it's not that, you can actually have these fun moments on these shows because you can keep it lighthearted. But the American version, if you just watch a little bit of it, it's I think Lisa Lampanelli is on there, and she's been a comedian for like 20, 30 years. I remember watching her way back in the day. But she's that kind of comedian, and every clip you see of it, it's just her like yelling and saying like the F word or, you know, something vulgar about, you know, her genitals. And so it's like gross. And that's why we don't get those things over here. Well, American comedians are gross.
It's also just American TV is always about drama and
also,
high...
Ash, good job.
Good job, Ash.
Yay.
It's about
El Dorado.
It's about like high views, high reality, all this bullshit. Like they took Kitchen Nightmare and they turned it into like just the absolute worst reality show in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Kitchen Nightmares. The British version is so wholesome.
It's so good.
Gordon Ramsay is like, let me teach you some things, and it's like, it makes you cry of happiness. So it's like British Bake Off. Like, that's what it is. American Kitchen Nightmares is like, all right, Gordon Ramsay, I need you to yell a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
You need to go find this small business owner who's can't make their ends meet. Find them on their bad day so they kind of snap a little bit at you, and then you berate them like, you know, like no one ever has. Like, that's the show.
I will say it, though. Last thing, the one thing about the Kitchen Nightmares in America is that they do highlight some real awful people.
Yes.
Like Amy's Baking Company.
Oh, love it. Classic.
So, YouTube audience and chat audience, what we need from you, all right? Here's the sum up, because I feel like we've talked about 19 different things. The main things. I want to know why sausage rolls are so freaking popular in British Columbia. And 2, how many penny smushers would you buy off of us? We're going to have a whole MLM penny smusher business.
And what would you pay plus 99 cents?
To have unlimited earning potential.
Unlimited.
Do you not understand what unlimited means? Do you know how many pennies there are? Unlimited, because we're going to lobby to make sure they keep getting made.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. That has been Game of Life. Let us know what you thought of the new map as well. With that, we're going to move on.